What's going on, people? SeanPierceJohnson here. And thanks for joining me for this little SPJ Live #1. This seems to be the kind of the hot thing to do right now. It seems like everybody's doing this live stream thing, and I kind of dig it too. So I say, why not? Let's do it, and let's have some fun. So we'll do this every week on Thursdays, thereabouts, between, you know, the 3 o'clock and the 5 o'clock hour. And let's kind of get this up there a little bit so my head's not so cut off. I have your feed over here. What's going on, Max? Welcome to the chat. Greetings from Belgium. Oh, man. I want to go to Belgium one day. You have some beer that I like to drink. The key of B for Belgium for you. Thanks for joining in, Max. Appreciate having you. So yeah, every week between the 3 and 5 o'clock hour, we will delve into the gear world. We'll kind of keep you guys updated on what's going on here on the channel, what's happening, what's coming in, and we'll do some unboxings. Of course, we have Mr. Boxman over here. See, head, body, and all that good stuff. You get it. You get it. We're going to do some unboxings today. We'll tackle a couple hot button topics maybe, and I'll even take some of your questions. I'm always happy to help you guys out with whatever your musical and gear journey is this week, and I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun. Right now, we're just doing this via my phone right now, so over the time, quality will get better. I just didn't really feel like getting a huge thing going on here for this live stream since it's #1, and I just want to kind of get a feel for it, get a feel for what you guys think about it, and we're gonna have some fun with it. So on to, let's talk New Gear Day, and we've got a lot of it. First and foremost, you heard something new at the top of the video just now, and that is the PRS Waves Audio SuperModels amp modeling plugin. And the thing that you heard me playing at the top of this live stream is the PRS Waves. This is the Blue Sierra. Yes, the V9 Blue Sierra. And essentially what this is, it's supposed to be a unreleased amplifier that PRS had been toying around with, and they never got around to putting it out. But if you ask me, I'm looking at it right now, and it kind of resembles the control scheme layout of the JMod 100, the John Mayer amplifier. So I'm almost certain that this probably served as a little bit of inspiration for it. What's really strange about it is, for a plug-in, it feels really good, and it's very dynamic, and it just has a very interesting feel to it. It feels really good, and it's a lot of fun to play around with. And I really got hit to this because it actually came to me in my email that I could get a nice coupon code for it, and I got it for 29 bucks, and it's an extension of their GTR3 amp modeling plugin, which is a kind of my dark horse amp modeling plugin. It's a very full-featured one, and PRS has collaborated with Waves on that software before. And I've always used it, and I've always liked it, and it has 3 models. It's got the Dallas, it's got the Archon 50, and this Blue Sierra V9. So 3 amp models, and I got it for 29 bucks. It's sounding really good. There's a ton of different presets that you can do, and it's super flexible, super tweakable. If you have GTR3, you owe it to yourself to check it out. I think it's on sale right now. Actually, let me double check that for you. If you have GTR3, can you currently get it for the sale price? Yes, you can. Regular price is $129, and right now, if you're a GTR3 owner and you own the full version of that Waves plugin, you can get the PRS Supermodels for $49. That's a pretty darn good deal, if you ask me. So I downloaded it. I'm really digging it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and we are going to do some really nice extensive demos of that plugin when the time comes. Going to spend a little bit more time with it, getting my feet wet with it a little bit more, and find out the best context for each amplifier and how we can push those amplifier models to get some some unexpected tones out of them. So that's that. It's a great piece of kit. I love it. I am having a lot of fun with it. A couple other things that have come in recently. I am here, Dementoid. I remember you. What's going on, buddy? I am here. I am here. I am here. Wow, that's a lot of I am here's. So other things that have been coming in, I got some new friends at Mission Engineering, and they've kindly sent me some things to have a little bit of a go with, one of which is off camera over there, so if you'll excuse my stretch. Boom. All right, so they sent me the nice EP25K expression pedal. I've always been aware of Mission expression pedals. They've been considered some of the best in the industry, and I finally got my hands on one, and I'm loving it to death. You heard it being used on the Alexander Pedals Defender demo, which came out this past Saturday, which I would love to know what you guys thought of that demo. Please let me know what you think in the chat, and let's have some fun. I want to hear some more feedback on that from you guys. But this is just super heavy duty, really nice sweep to it, handles like a champ, and it will also be making an appearance in the Chase Bliss Condor, and I'm certain Thermae will come in as well, and this will be making an appearance on that. But the real thing that's been nice that Mission sent me is this little guy, which is the 529 USB power converter, and essentially you plug a USB cable into the power supply here, and you can get that from your computer. Dementoid likes his beer dark. I like it dark, I like it hoppy, and I like it barrel-aged, and I like it sour. Just personally. Maybe we'll all have like a virtual beer sharing live stream. We'll all hang out and have a pint. But this is really awesome, and it came with a nice USB power pack that is sitting on the desk over there, and you can either plug it in from your USB outlet on the computer, you can do a USB power pack, you can link another one of these so you can feed 10 pedals. This one has 5, 450 milliamp and a 500 milliamp. Get 10 pedals off of one USB power supply. I've been using it in all my demos recently, and it lasts like a crazy long amount of time. I was shooting for 6 hours the other day, and the battery did not lose a beat. It is absolutely fun. Fraser Lundy, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Looks fantastic. Oh, it is. It definitely is good for something that's miles away. I'm going to be working on something that's miles away, and the 529 will be coming in very handy for that. But something a little bit more full, something a little bit more official we'll get to in just a little bit. I'm going to, film something nice for you guys so that you can get my full 100% thoughts on it and see it in action. But it's been incredibly useful and having a lot of fun with it. And I can't thank Mission enough for reaching out to me and sending it my way, because this has been some of the most useful gear that I've gotten in for demos in quite some time. Lower my chair a little bit. So let's get to some of these boxes, shall we? How about the small guy up on top from JHS Pedals? Now, I did get the AT Plus in about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a month. I've been sitting on that, and a demo of that is coming soon. And they also sending me a couple other things. We got one of them on the inside here. I think they might have messed up because they sent me another AT+. That's funny. Oh, I thought I was going to have something new and exciting for you guys. Well, still, the pedal is fun. I like it a lot. I will have to get in touch with the guys and see about that. That's really funny. Well, that was kind of a letdown. So how about we redeem it with the big guy. Dementoid, he wants the AT+. Anybody else want the AT+? Maybe they'll let me give it away. Who would like to win an AT+? There's 8 of you watching now. I know one of you would like to win an AT+. Still working with Carvin now that they're back in business. Oh, hey, Mighty McLovin, how you doing, buddy? Philip, still working with Carvin. We'll get to that at the end. Bring that up as we wrap it up if I forget, and I'll address some of that for you guys because it's been very interesting indeed. So as you can see, got this big ass box, and you can see the Reverend logo. We got another guitar from Reverend. And I am very excited because the BC Tours that we looked at was really fun. I had a really great time with that. And now we have another lovely guitar coming from the cats at Reverend. This one, not in a case, as the last one was, but all the same. Guitar unboxings in the studio just maybe don't work. My room is not big enough to accommodate. There we go. That's everything. Oh boy. Big boxes. Lots of big ass bubble wrap. There we go. Don't go falling over on me now. There we go. So, I assume it was meant to be the bonsai. Actually, it was supposed to be either the bonsai or the panther cub. That's what I was anticipating arriving. So, I will have to get in touch with Josh and the guys and see what's going on. Back to this guitar. Which, man, it sure comes set like I get to keep it, and I sure would, I tell you what, I sure would love to keep these guitars when they come in, but that's just the way of it. Hey Diego, what's going on, buddy? We actually just checked in on the Waves PRS plugin. We talked about it for a little bit. Yeah, I actually have it and downloaded it. And here we go. Check out that little guy. This is the Reverend Airsonic. That's pretty hot. Woo! That feels nice. Not really a monkey grip like the Gem, but yeah, that is a very interesting take on a semi-hollow, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe we could hear a little bit of it? Would anybody like to hear a little bit of it? Man, these guitars. They feel so nice. And I can feel a lot of this resonance. So, should we plug it in for a little bit? Anybody want to do that? I'll go ahead and do it. Gotta plug my 529 power supply back in. Pardon the reach. There we go. Plug in the tuner. go. And there we go. Auto input. This is going to be fun. These Reverends, I am just having so much fun getting to know these. But basically, it is kind of their sort of Art Deco offset thing going on with a center block, kind of like a Firebird with that raised center. The pickups are rail hammers that I believe are supposed to be like P90s. It's got the bass contour, three-way toggle, roasted maple neck that feels really nice. This definitely has been used by somebody before. There's a couple little nicks on the back of the neck, which I really, you know, this is one of those things that really gives reviewers like myself a bad rap, because if a company like Reverend, and Reverend has been amazing to work with, and they've sent me these instruments, and I'm hoping this is a relationship that will continue, because I think they make some incredible instruments. But when I get something, you know, on loan, I really want to send it back to them as perfect condition, as close to when I first got it. And, you know, when the BC tours came in, I was one of the first to get them. And I wanted to make sure that for my first Reverend, first time working with the company, I wanted them to get it back like they sent it to me. And I did everything I could. The company was very satisfied. We had a really good arrangement, and, you know, I was happy to wait for this, and I'm very happy to receive it, because really, the little scratch on the back of the neck, it doesn't affect the playability at all. You know, it's right around here. So it doesn't affect the way that the guitar plays. But, man, you know, you just, as a reviewer, and as you just want to do you want to do right by the company, especially if they're giving you a chance. And, you know, Reverend took a chance on me with the BC tours, and we were both happy, and they're taking another chance on me with this, and I'm very happy with it. I think it looks awesome. This green color is so cool. But, you know, I just hate to think that, you know, whoever got their hands on this before me sent it back to them with some minor damage. But, you know, hey, if it doesn't affect playability, that's all that matters. And it looks great. I mean, come on. Who thinks this thing looks awesome? Because I think it looks awesome. I'm on a roof right now fixing an AC at El Torito listening to Sean rip. Oh, Diego. You are the man, buddy. You are the man. Thank you so much. Yeah, this thing is really cool. All right, so Dementoid wants to talk specs. Let's look up the specs right now. The Airsonic. That is what we are looking for. There it is. So what we are looking at here is the Airsonic HC. The Airsonic HC has, of course, the rail hammer pickups. It has a roasted maple neck, a carina body, the bass contour knob. It has locking tuners. It has been gone over by Zach Green, their highly skilled technician who sets up, inspects, and tests every instrument. And Zach, buddy, you do a fine job. It's got D. Dario strings on it. It has a Wilkinson WVS50 IIK, so 2K trim, whammy bar, vibrato. It's not a trim, and it has the nice little bar that just slides right in and out. Just a little bit of pressure, and what else? It's got Vericlaw, Tremolo Claw, Innovative Claw gives you the option of 3 springs in the middle with a firm tremolo feel, or 2 springs on the outside for a softer feel. The offset hook design lets you switch between 3 and 2 springs with little or no cumbersome adjustment of the claw needed. Wow. I got a little too into that. We got custom dome knobs, a bone knight nut, a triple tree string tree, which actually does help with tuning stability greatly. Pure tone jack, dual action touch rod, 6 bolt neck plate, treble bleed circuit on the volume pot, 10% pots, 10% Pauly caps, and the bridge pickup is called the Huevos 90, which I'm guessing huevos can often be a slang term for testicles. So the bridge pickup has balls, and the Nuevo 90 neck pickup from rail hammer pickups. So they're essentially supposed to be rail hammer P90s. You know, that's what it is. And yes, Dementoid, it is very nice and light. The real mass of the guitar comes from the center block, and these little cutouts, you know, they're not really just for show. You can feel the resonance. Definitely feel it. So it definitely contributes to the overall tone of the guitar. It's not just a cool little design trick. It's not just a marketing thing. It definitely affects the tone in some way. So, you know, there's a new guitar demo for you all to look forward to. It is very light. It is very cool. It is a lot of fun, and I will be giving this a more intimate. I wonder if, like Henning, I could lick this and it's mine. I didn't lick it. I promise I didn't lick it. So yeah, a new guitar toy for us to play with, have some fun with, and that should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. So what else were we going to talk about? Let's see. what did I say? Should I start Patreon, TGU, or GuitCon? Pee on it, then it's yours. Yeah, if I peed on it, oh boy, I don't know if I'd go that far. So, I guess I could give you guys the option. What should I talk about? This Patreon thing, or what do you guys want to do? Do you want to hear what's going on with my status for TGU 18 or GitCon? Give me your thoughts, because there's a lot to say on both subjects. Or we could even talk about, what's your opinion on the whole GitCon Henning cutout severance angle? We could even talk about how things are working with Carvin right now and address that elephant in the room. Fraser kind of wants to talk about GitCon and Henning. Anybody else want to get in a little bit in on that, and I can kind of give you guys my position. Dementoid wants to talk Carvin. Once I have another opinion otherwise, we'll go for that top. Screw GitCon, they shafted Henning, go to TGU. All right, why don't we address that whole thing? And I wasn't really going to talk about it because, one, it's an issue that I'm not personally affected by, but I've had enough people ask about it, so I will talk about it. So, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to TGU 18 or am I going to go to GitCon? The short story, the short answer is I'm not going to either. And I have reasons for why I'm not going to be at either of the events. But I will kind of back up and let you guys know what's going on, because I feel like, you know, those of you that have been here since before the last GitCon kind of deserve that. You guys helped me get to GitCon, and those of you who have come since GitCon were a big reason of why GitCon was an option for me this year, and why TGU was also an option for me this year. So I'll give you a little background. Warwick did reach out to me before I found out about the sort of Warwick Henning split, and they offered me the full ride, a very nice package for my trip and stay in Germany for GitCon 2018, an offer which I would be stupid to not accept. And so I accepted the offer. Well, then I found out about the situation with Henning and Warwick having the falling out, and Henning was very upfront and honest with me about that. And I said, okay, I understand. You want to do this new thing? Well, you keep me informed of what you want to do, and if I can work both trips in, I would like to do that. So, at the meantime, this is all going on, my band has been releasing new music. The band has been working on new music, and what's been great is that this new music has allowed us to go to new places and meet some new people. And we happened to get in touch with a touring company, a concert tour, and through NAMM, we met them there. And after some conversations, we came to an agreement that we would try to work something out for the fall together. And it just so happened that the dates weren't really lining up as quickly as they wanted to, and that put the trip to Germany for GitCon into jeopardy. So I've done GitCon once already, and it was a really amazing experience, and you know, the results of what we're seeing today are, you know, that, you know, the subscribers that I have right now, you guys watching this live stream right now, it's all a testament to what that event has done for me. But at the same time, I'm always someone who looks for new opportunities. I don't always like to repeat the same thing, even after, you know, going to my 10th consecutive NAMM show. After this year, although I tend to have that feeling of like, I always remember why I go back to NAMM, it was a little tiring this year, and it definitely made me feel like I don't need to go so hard at the NAMM show next year. Maybe I'll take it a little bit easier, not worry about it too much, and that's kind of the thing that I decided. To me, the music and that I make and performing and writing music is much more gratifying than going on this really long trip to do all this work. Because the trip last year was very rough. I was sick the majority of the week that I was there, and then at the time after the event, while my wife and I stayed in Germany, she was sick. So it was a very rough trip for both of us, and I just decided that the better opportunity would be to go on tour. And I think anybody in a band would, if they're not having to foot the entire bill for a concert tour and there's an opportunity to play your music in front of crowds that are new and that could potentially like your music, you're always going to take that opportunity. So I will not be going to GuitCon, not because of what happened with Henning. I'm not going because there's the prospect of going on tour. And right now, I really want to do that. That's where my heart is, and if the opportunity has presented itself, and I've let Warwick know that, and they are fully supportive of that. Warwick, as Tone King said when he addressed this whole thing, Warwick didn't do anything to him personally. Henning is a very good friend of mine, and he's a very big supporter of mine, and I can't thank him enough for that. But they didn't do anything to me personally. Business is business. Unfortunately, this was a very bad business move for everybody involved. It was not fun to find out that this relationship had gone awry. It's unfortunate, but I will not be going to GuitCon for that reason. I would rather go on tour. I like that opportunity, and I want to do that. So, case closed on that. So obviously that means I'm going to TGU, right? Well, actually, no, I'm not going to TGU either. As you saw the announcement video, there was a point where it listed the majority of the people who were going to be there, and my name was not on that list. My name was not on that list for a very good reason. I'm not going. I was invited. Henning kept me abreast of everything that was going on in the planning stages, and kept me informed of the time period, and that is going to be starting next weekend. And unfortunately, right now, next weekend is my wife's birthday, and we were already making plans, and we were already deciding that we wanted to do something together special on that weekend. Not to mention the fact that I am playing on the Warped Tour next month in LA, and my band does not have a bass player still. And we've been looking a really, really long time, and we still haven't found the right person. And that is causing a lot of stress for all of us. So we need to find a bass player, and we need to find one quick, and we need to find the right one. And that really takes priority right now. The band definitely is taking more a priority over going on little trips to create some content. But luckily for me, living in Southern California, there are a lot of other gear companies based here in Southern California, and just in California in general. So I don't necessarily need to go international to do some really cool content for you guys. I've been talking with some guitar builders, I've been talking with some pedal builders that are local or local enough to make the day trip worth it, and we're going to be doing some stuff together. I'm not going to tell you who that is yet, but it'll be happening sometime this year. So I won't be doing either of them. I appreciate everybody's offers, and I would have loved to have gotten to hang out with my my TGU brothers and sisters and my GuitCon brothers and sisters and everybody that I met and did stuff with because of that. But this year there's a different set of priorities, and that's one of the strange things about doing the YouTube thing, but also having these other musical interests. There's a certain give and take, and there's a certain balance to it all. I can't always be doing the gear demos and You know, right now between editing videos, I'm mixing songs. In between doing these demos, I'm, you know, my singer's tracking vocals. In between her tracking vocals, I'm filming demos. I'm planning new content and things like that. You know, I'm doing this live stream earlier than I wanted to do because my wife and I want to possibly go to the theater tonight. And we need to leave for that show at, you know, 6:30. You know, I wanted to do it much later than I'm doing it right now. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not doing either of them. And I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to hang out with everybody and meet some new friends, but I wish everybody, no matter wherever they choose to go, that I met and made friends with, all the best. The trip was a lot of fun last year. It was a really great event. So many cool people, so many new friends, so many new contacts, and so many things have happened because of it that as much as this thing between Warwick and Henning was terrible and it was not very good, I can't help but be thankful for what the two of them did. You know, Warwick hosting and making that a possibility, and me being able to come in and creating what I've been able to do since then. You know, that event brought so many of you to this channel and focused everything. It lent me a credibility that I didn't have before, and I can't discredit that. You guys have to understand that. You know, I agree, it was not cool. You know, the whole situation was very hard, but they gave me a really cool opportunity, and they offered me an even cooler opportunity of being able to go on that trip without really having to pay for much. And I can't thank them enough. They saw value in having me at the event again. And I can't thank them enough for that. But like I said, there's a give and take, there's a balance of priorities, and this year it's been weighing on my heart, and I've thought about it, and I've done all that other stuff. The music that I make, that's the priority. And when there's new opportunities to get that further, that's the path I'm going to take. And hopefully you guys will, you know, come along for that ride too. So thank you all for being a part of this ride, and I hope you'll join me for the other rides. So that's the long story. You heard the short story. Not going to be doing either one, but wish success to everybody involved, especially whoever is on YouTube that is a friend of mine, no matter what event they choose to go to. So that's that. The jams at GuitCon last year were so cool. I watched them all and was looking forward to this year's jams. Yeah, the jams were cool. You know, Phil X and Ove is still a killer bass player. I know he's going to be involved in GuitCon again because he works for Warwick, you know. That's what he does. So I'm sure he's, you know, going to be playing in the jams this year. He's a great bass player. Got, you know, fun guy, and I can't thank him enough for being as cool. It's the final Warped currently, so congrats and good for you. Oh, thanks, Fraser. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's last cross country. I don't know what they're going to do next year because next year is the 25th anniversary. So they might do something special. But, you know, we get one date, we get one shot, and we're taking it. And there's a lot of prep going into that one show because it means that much. So yeah, that's the way that it's gonna go. So, someone wanted to talk Carvin, right? Are we gonna talk about Carvin? Are we really gonna talk about Carvin? Does anybody not want to talk about Carvin? Yup. Everybody wants to talk about Carvin. Everybody wants to talk about Carvin. Okay, so how about we back up a little bit and talk about why this is kind of I'd rather talk about Kiesel. There's a little bit of Kiesel involved in this story. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on the way that you want to look at it. Okay, let's talk Carvin. So, as some of you probably saw back, oh, what was that? Towards the end, was that the end of September, I believe? Carvin announced that they were closing the San Diego factory and they were going to be liquidating stock, and a lot of people were led to believe that that meant that Carvin was going out of business, including myself, who was doing video and social media work for the company. And that statement that you saw on the Facebook, I made, I wrote, and you know, you probably were misled because of my words. But I wrote it, I submitted it, and everybody was fine with it. So we went through with the liquidation, and you know, the warehouse and factory closed, and then all of a sudden you saw Carvin was back. The website got a fresh redesign, and there were even some clues of some new products, one of which is sitting right here. If I could just get the thing, oh, pardon the stretch, one of which is in my hands. And you are also still going to be able to get this guy. So there was talk of these two pedal preamps, the Legacy Drive and the X1. There was talk of some other new products and what that meant for the company and what you could potentially be looking forward to. And you also will be able to go on carvinaudio.com right now and watch a video of yours truly demoing the X1. And it is a fantastic pedal preamp. It is so cool. I like it a lot. And the company is back in some way. So essentially what happened is Carson Kiesel, one of the car in Carvin, he decided to retire and passed along the company to his son Joel and his daughter Kristen. And they are re-upping the company, doing it through a smaller warehouse. They're focusing now on the pedal preamps and some other smaller products, potentially with the idea of building the company back up to making amplifiers and other larger pro audio equipment. At least I assume. So the question was asked and posed, am I still working with Carvin? I am working with Carvin in sort of a, you know, on and off capacity. It's not full-time, it's not even a part-time thing. It's when they need me. So I will probably be doing a couple more product videos for them in the coming months. But it's not, I'm not intimately involved with the company anymore. I'm not managing any social media, any sort of regular content for them. It's just, they ask, if I can fit it in my schedule in a timely manner, then I do it. And that's the way that it is. I would like to see the company do well, which I think everybody should want to see the company do well, because Carvin has, you know, such a long history of great products in music and pro audio. I don't think anybody could say anything bad about the guitars. I could probably say a few bad things about some of the people that work there, just based on some rather distasteful experiences. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that, you know, Carvin amps and audio, as they're known now, will do well. I do. I have a V3 now in my collection. I have these two pedal preamps, and there's a lot of Carvin gear. Carvin is a very different tone than anything else out there. The V3 is probably the closest to my comfort zone from them that I've found. This X1 is just a fantastic tube preamp. It's got a ton of features to it. Having the Legacy drive puts the Legacy back into my arsenal, and you know, the Legacy was my first tube amp, so having that, you know, there's an emotional connection to it. I use Carvin Pro audio gear. I have a couple other things lying around the house. There's some really great stuff out there, and it's a shame that the company kind of had to take a nosedive to try to now build back up, and I'm hoping it'll go great. And if there's any more coming out, you know, you guys will probably be seeing me involved in it in some way, shape, or form. When the X1 is officially coming out, we'll do like we did with the Legacy drive. I'll give it my full 100% review of it. We'll do exactly like we did, you know, have a completely independent review of it, and there's not a whole lot negative I can say about it. I'll spoiler alert, but yeah, that's kind of the deal with Carvin. So I'm not going to be working with them in an official capacity, just in unofficial capacity whenever they need me. That's kind of the deal with that. So let's take a look at what you guys are saying. We got a couple V3M owners. Yeah, that's a good one. V3M, C, V3M. Mine's the big guy. I had to get the big old 100-watt version. But that V3M, that's a good little amplifier. I did a couple videos on that back during my full-time era with Carvin, and I really enjoyed that little amplifier. So yeah, Philip, you asked that one. That was your question. That is sort of the dealings with Carvin amps and audio right now. So happy that I can kind of shed a little bit of light for you. Have any questions, feel free to field them to me at any time. Let's see if we can let's kind of cycle through some of these presets. Ooh, that's a loud one. Wow, that is a PRS plugin is a lot of fun. Okay, so let's wrap it up by asking you guys a question, because this is something that I've been kind of wrestling with for a little bit of time, and that's Patreon. Because a lot of guys do it, a lot of guys like it, and well, I kind of like the idea too. So the question is, if I were to start a Patreon, how would everybody feel about that? Like, what would you want to see as perks? What would you want to see in terms of like the tiers? What kind of content? You know, I want to know what you guys really want out of it, because that's the best way for me to know what I can do to get started and get started in the right way. You know, I don't have a whole lot of time to just be experimenting with Patreon. So if you guys have any ideas of content that you'd like to see that's like Patreon exclusive or early access, or if there's Patreon perks that you get from other channels that you'd like to see carried over to my channel, I'd love to know. I've not contributed to many Patreons myself because, unfortunately, you know, there's not a whole lot of cash in this right now. But hopefully in the future there will be some. And hopefully some of you will be able to help make that happen. Josh W. says nobody cares about Patreon early access or perks. They just support you if they genuinely want to. Okay, so Josh is in favor of no perks. Which honestly, that kind of makes sense to me. You know, if you like what I do, you'll support what I do. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't want to give you something to say thank you, or at least say thank you. If saying thank you is enough, then I could just say thank you. Like on these weekly live streams, I could just say, hey, we got some new Patreon supporters, and just roll through a list of, you know, every single person, no matter how much money they've decided to contribute to the Patreon. These are the new supporters this week. Thank you so much. And it's as simple as that. If you guys are cool with that, I could start that in my, like, tonight, and we could get this party rolling. Yeah. If you start a Patreon, what's going on, Eddie? Good to hear from you, buddy. How's life? If you start a Patreon, you will feel obligated to create a lot of additional time-consuming content that may not be worth the effort, unless, of course, you have a lot of patrons. And that's kind of the caveat, Josh. I'll agree with you there, because time is a... You know, if there's not a whole lot of return on investment, what is the point? You know, I definitely agree with your school of thought that it's like, hey, you know, if you like what somebody does enough to contribute to a Patreon, your perk is just the content. You know, they keep doing it. They're allowed to keep doing it. I mean, that's essentially what a patron was back in the day. Let's see. I'd just say start one and just say thank you. I like that. Let's see. We have Fraser. Simon the Magpie used to buy circuit bent diagrams on there, but stopped doing it. Phil McKnight uses it to sell gear he buys for review. Henning streams his Tomon demos. Huh. I did not know that. I do not, you know, subscribe. I subscribe to his Patreon. I subscribe to his channel, not his Patreon. Yeah. Josh, your ways, I kind of agree with what you're saying. Eddie is moving down to San Diego. Check that out. Good on you, buddy. Hopefully that works out really well for you. So we got, I know about Phil selling gear to his patrons. But I don't know about Simon the Magpie. I've actually not watched a whole lot of his stuff. I know the name, but I don't know a whole lot of his work. You know, I could stream, you know, demos on there as I film, but I don't do like Henning does. I don't film things live and switch. There's a bit of post-production that goes on with my stuff, and I kind of like it that way. Eddie's talking about a Twitch channel in lieu of Patreon. I just don't know if Twitch would really be the best option for what I do. You know, Twitch seems to be a much better, like, sports and video game platform. I'd look into it. Yes, Henning makes enough money to cover the level of production. He definitely does. Although he would say that he spends way too, like, a lot of money and makes it seem like Henning spends way too much money on cameras. He's got problems. Once told him that. You need to stop trying so hard. Nobody else is going to do it. 10 cameras for a pedal. I'm not. Do you really even want to see me do a 10 camera pedal demo? I don't think so. He spends too much on shirts and sweaters. Crazy cat sweaters. Although I'll tell you guys this. If you guys know my style, you know some of the crazy t-shirts and fun t-shirts that I wear on my channel. You know, as long as you send a large and then you send it to the P.O. box, you know, I'd wear it in at least one video and give you a little shout out. Let's see. Simon Circuit Men's pedals. Okay. Let's see. Eddie's been seeing musicians streaming a performance or just them practicing at home. Do you even really want to see me practice? That's kind of like watching me do this right now. Yeah. One camera is fine so long as there is animals at the end. I don't have any animals. That's the thing. You know? He's got animals. I don't do dick jokes. And he does them too much. What I have is just like quirky t-shirts and orange amplifiers. But, you know, you guys have given me some pretty good ideas. It's something to think about and something to consider. Obviously, I think the Twitch thing is going to have to be, you know, more time spent researching, which may come in handy as I, you know, try to, you know, up the quality of the live stream and get things rolling here. So, yeah, we'll see about that. Yep. Eddie, these are the rail hammer pickups. They're like P90 style rail hammers. So actually, if some of you want to buy me wrestling t-shirts, you know, and send them to me in my P.O. box, then I can tell my wife, but babe, my fans and my subscribers sent them to me. They were gifts. Yeah, Josh, I'm kind of thinking along the lines of what you're suggesting. That was basically my approach to it. Would be, you know, if I did a perk, it would be a very small perk. You know, I have buttons that I made myself to kind of promote at NAMM, and I have an excess of those. So if you contributed X amount, I'd send you a nice little 2-pack of those. Um, I'm actually considering getting some more picks printed up for some gigs because I'm almost out of my preferred guitar picks, and you know, doing a new logo on that, and I might just throw a couple of those in an envelope, stick a stamp on it, put it in the mailbox, and send it. You know, it's a very simple thing. I don't have the kind of following right now that, which this has been a thing that's boggled my mind with a lot of guys that seem to be starting to doing this. A lot of people have merch now. A lot of people have merch, and I just don't feel like I'm at the point where I really need merch. I don't feel like merch for me right now is the right way to go. Eddie, you are bringing over that Kyber. You are bringing that over. I want that Kyber. I missed out. So mad. Let's see. I do sponsor Rooster Teeth, and all their sponsor content is essentially extra. Post shows, exclusive shows, merch, etc. And I'm happy with it. Alright. Yeah, if I did any sort of perks or extras, it would be so small that it wouldn't even, you know, add too much time to my day. You know, at the very least, you know, I would definitely be saying thank you to you guys when I do these weekly live streams, which are going to become a regular thing. So, on that note, we're about, what, an hour in plus? I've sponsored a ton of people on Patreon and never once paid an ounce of attention to extra content. Josh, I'm really appreciating your feedback on this. I really sincerely appreciate you being as open, honest, and candid about this. This is really helping me out. So thank you very much. I don't know if you, I don't know like how you, if you're a subscriber of mine, I can't thank you enough for this. If you're not and you're just seeing this for the first time, thank you for joining in when you did and commenting when you did. YouTube has stopped sending me notifications of when new people come to subscribe, but your perspective and your honesty about this is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much. Right, thumbs up right back at you. So yeah, we're going to be making this a regular thing sometime between the 3 and 5 o'clock hours, hopefully more on the 5 o'clock side. So those of you on the West Coast can, you know, be done with work, and those of you on the East Coast can kind of be settled in for the evening, as well as those of you in Central Time. Some international people might be in various degrees of sleepiness, but, you know, such is the way of things. So this kind of is a little taste of what we're going to do here on the live stream. When we get new gear in, we'll unbox it here in front of you guys, and we'll get a little preview of it. We'll talk about some of the news that's going on in the world, and of course remind you guys that if you liked this and had a lot of fun, please, I encourage this interaction with you. I want to hear your questions. If you have any questions, please share them with me. Please let me know what you think of the live stream. The quality, I will be trying to do my best to get better, but right now the phone's really the best option. I can get better audio into it, but it's a small room. It was very spur of the moment and had to do it much sooner than I wanted to, and just didn't really have the time to be able to put in the prep for it. But I wanted to get this started because I hate just sitting around waiting and beating around the bush. So thank you all of you who have watched this whole thing. Thank you all of you guys for your perspective. Josh, you've been awesome, man. Eddie, Diego, we had Dementoid, Fraser, oh my god, just see, Philip, who else do we have? Matthew, we had, there's Diego again, a lot of Diego, Mighty McLovin, there you are, buddy, right back up there, and Max, watching all the way from Belgium, one of these days, and Nick for commenting just now. Guys, thank you all for chiming in on this, and I will keep you guys posted on this whole Patreon thing. It looks like it's going to be happening. You know, if there are some perks, awesome. If there's not, I just appreciate you guys coming along for the ride, and girls for that matter, because I want to see some more girls getting into this guitar thing, because hey, why not, right? And on that note, thank you all for joining me. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, click the notifications so that you get notified of next week's live stream. We are going to have some fun with some new gear and addressing the news and answering your burning gear questions. And until next time, my friends, I'm SeanPierceJohnson. It's hot in here. I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers. Have a great day.